Hey, Coach. So happy you found us on YouTube. Couple things. First of all, make sure you go subscribe and like. That's really important. Second thing is make sure that you go over and check out teachhoops.com for coaches who want to get better. It's a one-stop shop for basketball coaches. It's the Hulu, Netflix, Amazon Prime, whatever you want. It's got a little bit of everything, but it's also got a community of like-minded coaches will help you become a better basketball coach. Go over and check it out. Let's head off to the video.
All right, welcome to High School Hoops. Um, so before we jump in, I'd like to give a big shout out to our two sponsors. First of all, Dr. Dish, the number one shooting machine on the market. Like I said last week, purely observational. They have helped us win a lot of basketball games this year. Mention High School Hoops or Coach Unplugged or Coach Collins or
No, I don't mean to jump in. I've been watching all your games this year, and again, the shot confidence, the distance, the quicker release. You're not shooting off balance. You got like the kids are just more confident.
I know when it's in too, if it's on balance.
Right, for sure.
For sure. Mention them, you get $400 off. But yes, I think thank you, Dr. Dish, is all I have to say. Also, go over and check out teachhoops.com for coaches who want to get better. When my season's done and I've come back from drinking a margarita on a beach and somewhere in the South, then I'm going to deep dive. I have literally a laundry list of stuff that's going to go into teachhoops.com. And when it does, it's inflation, baby. It's here in the US. It's hitting everything. It's going to hit teachhoops.com too. I got bills to pay. I mean, I love doing it, but I'm not going to go in debt doing it. So I got bills to pay. So
again, it is the interactive Netflix of basketball.
Yeah, it's better than Netflix.
It's way better because you hear our conversations. I want you guys to think about it this way: is that if you were in Teach Hoops right now and you were having a one-to-one session, you would basically be me interacting with Coach Collins. It's amazing. And I've done it.
I got like Coach Collins I got like seven of them tonight.
Mentorship with some other coaches. It's amazing. And no DVD, no book can ever give you what you need like this one-on-one mentorship. And so it's the best thing out there for you. And basically you can design what you want. What you want, we're going to give it to you.
Right. And some people don't want the one-on-one mentorship. That's fine.
That's fine.
But then like some want it. I mean, I have people texting me. I mean, it's whatever. It's like, I'm here.
You get what you put into it, though, don't you think, Steve?
Yeah, it's that. And some people they wait till after the season. Some people deep dive into the fall. It just kind of depends. But like go over and check it out. 14-day free trial. Can't beat that. Shoot, that's how much I believe in it. Like go kick the tires and see if you like it or not. If you don't, all cool. No worries on my end.
Kick the tires. Wow, that's pretty old school.
It is old school. All right. What is today's topic?
Well, we continue to build off of what we talk about, which I think is awesome. I think that we talked about the last 2 weeks, we talked about just general approaches to playoffs. And then we just talked about, we deep dived last week into playoffs, not playoffs, but practice in regards to playoffs. What does practice look like? And then now we're talking about scouting and preparing for your opponent and future opponents through the tournament trail. So like your brackets out, okay, you got this team, this option. Obviously, you got to do some front loading. You got to do some delegation. What does that look like, especially from somebody that's won a state championship at high school level multiple times? What does that journey look like? Or what are some of your tidbits, or what we like to call it golden nuggets, that we can help listeners with?
So there's a couple things. First of all, I don't think you can wait until the end to prepare for the opponents that you're going to possibly see. Like, roughly, depending on your region or section or however they break up your state, you kind of know where you're going to fall as far as roughly who you're going to have to play. So you should be preparing for it since mid-January, to be honest with you. And part of that is
you are definitely in a unique situation this year where you're playing a lot of teams that you would never play within your region. You're going, I mean, there's a lot of teams that you haven't played this year, you haven't seen, you haven't played. It's not like a lot of people's regionals will be or sectionals will be.
Well, that's the WI not being able to draw circles. It's true. I'm going to tell you right now. If you know anything about Wisconsin, you know anything about the WI, they don't know how to draw circles. It's supposed to be a region, and we got people coming We got buses passing each other on the interstate going in opposite directions. It should be in the same regional.
which makes no sense.
It
But
makes no sense. Like
but
I'm
I'm just
driving
saying,
to
like, it's
the
definitely a
far.
lot
I'm
harder
far on
on
the
your
east side of
team,
Milwaukee.
on your program this year and say than years past, because you're going to have some teams that are in your conference that you know a lot about. But your situation, you have a lot of teams that you haven't seen or played.
Right. Yeah, I want to make it to the state tournament, so in the press conference afterwards, I can tell everyone what's wrong. That's why I want to do it. Let's talk shot clock. Let's talk regionals. Let's talk how many teams make it to the state tournament. Let's talk. I got a laundry list. I should start a little notebook. Hopefully we can make it again and I can talk about it in the press conference. Anyway,
back to the
our
playoff
topic.
journey
And
and
now that I
scouting.
pissed off the WIA, I don't care. Who was I on? I was on McGivern's thing the other day in Milwaukee last weekend, maybe for what he does that thing on Saturday mornings, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he had me on and he goes, the thing I love about Steve is I'll just ask him a question. He'll tell me. He goes, shot clock. I go, no. And he starts laughing. I go, this is why. But and I do I know it's coming? Yes, but here's why you shouldn't have it. But anyway, back to the playoffs. So yes, so delegation is king. Film is king. So you can't wait till 6 days before you're going to play an opponent to start going and getting film, because first of all, you should be watching it before that. And you should have multiple people watching it. Like when we play an opponent, I'll have 7 eyes on it at least, giving different input. What do you see from this opponent? How should we defend them? What should we do offensively? What should we do defensively? That's the 7 on top of me. And I'm at the top of the triangle because I'm the one that has to make the decision at the end. So I think that is it. Obviously we play Friday, Saturday in our regional. So I only worry about winning Friday. I don't worry about Saturday until Friday at 9:30.
Don't you have things already set up? Like have you looked at their
when
film?
we went
Have
on
you had
Friday, we feed the boys and we start talking about Saturday before they leave school. Or
what
we
I'm
bring
saying
them
though
back
is
to
that you
school.
must have some things diagram or notes about them before you even have won that game, correct?
We have a scout. We have
Yeah.
tape and scout.
Your scout plan for whether 2 opponents, like you really have to have 2
We
of
have
them.
2 scouts done. So
Right.
let's say we're playing team A
Yep.
and we beat them and we play the winner of BC. We have scouts, we have film, we have handouts. So sorry, I'll plant a tree, but we already have physical handouts to hand to them on both of them when they walk out. If we're at home, we walk down to the end of the hallway and watch film and eat. If we're on the bus, we feed them on the bus. And then we come home, then we watch film, we hand them the scout, we send them home. We come in the next morning, we walk through, we get shots up again, we jump on the bus, we go win the game. So that's what's supposed to happen. Yes, you have to over prepare.
Right, because if you're spending all that time that night, the next day, you can't make those mistakes because you're going to be just.
So the issue is, here's the issue I had. When I wasn't rested, I wasn't as good a coach.
Right.
And I quickly found out when we had in the old ways when the WI had messed up the state tournament, and you played 3 games in 3 days at the Division I, the highest level in Wisconsin, when it was one of the best state tournaments in the country before they messed it up.
Dude, I loved it. It was the best. Thursday,
Yep,
Friday,
you play
Saturday.
Thursday, play Friday, you play Saturday.
It's great.
I had to get rest. I had little kids at home. I had to get 6-7 hours sleep or I was going to be useless. So I had other people working. And don't get me wrong. When you're playing in the state championship, you're playing the state championship and you got to be ready, but you also got to be ready. And the first year I was tired. I wasn't as sharp. I wasn't all of that. And I quickly found out someone else cannot sleep. I got to sleep. And so I had other people working on stuff so I could get my 6-7 hours sleep. And then I was in. Like, my wife knew that we had little kids even at that point. It's like, I'm not available for the next 3 days. Like, I'm not dad. Like, I'm not here, kind of thing. I mean, I just couldn't be like, and she understood. I mean, it's like,
But again, I think you bring up a
the
point.
problem
though.
is it lasted for 10 straight years. I don't think she was expecting us to go 10 straight
Well,
years.
you had the right recipe for success and you did the right
Yeah.
things. But
Yeah.
what I'm saying is, though, is that you are ultimately putting in the work beforehand, so you are in your best position to be the best coach. Because
Yes.
you know, when it comes down to it, you're looking at 2 really good teams, 2 really good coaches, and it's a duo, right, between you and that coach, right? You know, you've been in a situation where you've made adjustments and you beat the team, or a team has made you an adjustment and you're just not, you got,
Like,
what am I going to
I
do?
swear to God, when we lost it was 08 when we lost to Tosa in the final.
The 2-3 zone.
They had never run a 2-3 zone all year. All year. I mean, I'm telling you, we had every game. They hadn't run one possession of a 2-3, and he throws a 2-3. Good for you. You out pivoted me. I wasn't ready for that. Okay, great. Damn. That one still burns. There's a couple that burn. That one burns. It's like, I should
That's
have
just
had
another coach from a good coach giving them this
it.
3 out.
It's the chess match.
It's
the
just match, man. You got to be, and you got to put in the work. You know, I mean, again, like before the time of huddle, I mean, you were tape, right? It was just like outworking. You know, you got to be, I think, to get to the road to state, you got to learn, you got to think about it as it's a boxing match between you and that other coach and his staff and her staff, you know, and what you do, right? That the mental approach, but having that information in front of you, like at one point, if you constantly try to do that day in and day out, and not have all that front loaded, you're just going to be burnt out. You're not going to be mentally there. You're just not.
And that's what you gotta, that's the way you have to think.
Because you're playing these coaches, the coaches that you play at this level, they've been here before.
Right.
They
And they're
know what they're doing.
No one makes it to the state finals and can't coach unless you have so much freaking talent that it's crazy. Unless you're me, of course. I've made all those because anyway, don't get me started. If you win, people will criticize you, trust you.
Always.
Always. That's what you want. I'm just telling the listeners, you want people to not like you and criticize you, because that means you've you know, Tom Cruise can't act. Well, okay.
They're jealous.
Yeah.
They're jealous.
I love it. 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 Bring it on.
You know, but you know how hard your staff has worked, you have worked, your kids have worked.
Yeah.
They don't get it.
Yeah. And I know the other coaches in our league that have. It's like, and I know the ones that haven't. It's like
there's a lot of great coaches in that league that have worked really hard. Or coaches have retired from that, you know.
And to be honest with you, I've probably never said this publicly. I probably would like a lot of them, but I can't.
You can't.
You can
like them after you retire,
or talk to you, or spend any time with. I can't. That's just my personality. It's nothing against you. I'm sure you're a very nice human being. I don't like you because you're the opponent.
So I think that's a great segue to end.
But I mean, it's true though. Like Coach Booz is a great guy. He really is a great guy, and he's
very knowledgeable. Does a lot of good stuff.
Great coach, great guy. I can't like him. I can't like him. Can't like him because I just mentally, you're my enemy. Like you're Russia. I can't like you, China. You're China. I can't like you.
All right, Coach. Coach, this is probably the worst tangent you've had. It's like 3 years you need to calm down.
It is, but it's true though. But when this is all over, great. Let's go out and have a beer. I don't drink. Well, whatever. But we'll have a soda.
We'll get you a root beer. We'll get you a little actually float.
I've had some wine this season, so you know why. If you knew my team. Had a little bit of wine, 2 bottles of wine. But anyway, all right. Talk to you later.
All right, we'll see you next week. And I think the next topic will be, I have right here, wrote it down here. Ways to motivate players towards next year. So sadly, we're going to get to that point in mid-March where the season has ended, depending on where we are. But I think that
that's a great situation. Got to motivate Coach Collins.
Right. And we got to motivate you and that young team that you have to next year. All right. See you guys later.
Hey, Coach, so glad you enjoyed the video. Subscribe and like, and go over and check out teachhoops.com for coaches who want to get better.